Scorpios, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's see what May 2020 has waiting for you. This is for my Scorpios, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay. All right, Scorpios. So let's see for your general reading here in May. So I'm seeing for a few of you, definitely a lot of, so what I'm seeing here kind of with the Queen of Swords and the Three of Wands initially is it's kind of giving me this sense of almost the mind over matter kind of thing, where it's almost, because we have the Queen of Swords, which is very much, you know, this very logical and very, you know, very logical. In the state of mind, in the way we think, and yet there's almost like this creative energy and spark, but there's almost like kind of with the Six of Cups, I'm sensing from this there's some contemplation. I think I'm sensing for a lot of you that a lot of you may be very creative. Not all of you need to be necessarily, but I think what's going on is with this, I think what's happening is you guys have been putting a lot of thought into something, and you keep going back and forth, like you haven't been able to really make a decision, or you've been taking the time leading up into May to really go back and forth because you were very unsure. And I'm seeing for a lot of you Scorpios, you're making this decision in May. So whatever this thing has been that has been taking up your mind space, or something you've been thinking about and you were having some conflict within yourself going back and forth on, I see that in May, you're going to make a decision, and it's for whatever this may be for you, and it's going to come into, it's actually with Three of Wands. I mean, I'm just seeing like a burst of energy, whatever it's going to be, it's going to create something I think that you can't even fathom. I'm seeing a lot of different creative energy. I'm seeing partnerships. I'm also getting, I'm feeling more like partnerships and overall burst, but it could also be maybe in some cases a romantic relationship. But I'm definitely just seeing this overall kind of like burst of energy, almost like whatever decision you end up making in May is just going to re-energize everything for you. But let's get some clarification here. Okay. Oh. Okay, so right away, so what I'm seeing here. Okay, so to follow the voice of your soul and to drop your shields. Okay, so I think what for a lot of you, this, whatever this situation and that's been taking over your mind, I think a lot of it, I think part of what will help you make your decision in May, Scorpio, is to let down your shields. I think for maybe for a lot of you, whatever this situation here, let me get that maybe in focus for you. All right, sorry about that. But I think for a lot of you, what's kind of been holding up on you making this decision is a fear of vulnerability. Excuse me, I can't talk right now. But I sense that because whatever this decision is, I think what's happening is, I think you know you're going to have to confront it, and you will confront it in May. Because I think what you're going to realize in May is either way, I'm going to have to deal with this one way or another. And it's going to leave me vulnerable. And I got to be okay with that. I got to be okay with showing my emotions, showing my heart, how I've been feeling, what I've been thinking about and sensing. So this might even be, yeah, so I'm kind of getting, you know, I'm getting two things. I'm getting like almost like in a creative partnership that maybe kind of went a little sour, went a little hazily, but it was just a situation where there's still potential, where you still want to work with this person, still have this person in your life. But I think I see this person for you is the Queen of Swords. This very smart, you know, very sharp person. But I see you in the Queen of Swords as well as someone who's just been thinking about this so much. It's almost taken over like so much of your free time, and it's been bugging you because you haven't decided your decision, because you know you're going to eventually confront this person. You're eventually going to see this person, and what's been holding you back is that fear of being vulnerable and showing this side of yourself that you don't usually show to people. And probably because this person's also very blunt, and this person's very honest and upfront and tells it like it is. So you're almost afraid maybe of their reaction of opening up and being vulnerable. And I think, you know, whatever the situation may be, I think what you're going to realize in May is that you're going to realize it's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to show my emotions. And with the star ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. So I think with this, you've been overthinking, you've been thinking so much that perhaps you have not been given enough time to think about what's going on. Like, what do you truly want? Like in your heart center, when you take away the worst case scenarios and all the different possibilities that's been clogging your mind, what do you deep down feel? And what do you need, and what do you know you have to do in order, if you know what you want deep down, then you know what you have to do. And that's probably been what that contemplation is. It was being, you know, I think for a lot of you have made a decision, or you will make this decision in May of what you want. And it's going to take the courage to be vulnerable. But when you do, I think you're so afraid of the outcome. But I do see in May, you know, we have the 3 of Wands. So I think this is going to be I think you're going to get so much more out of it than maybe you can even fathom, because you're so afraid, whatever it may be for you. So I feel in May, you know, you're going to either find that courage within yourself to go with your gut and to not overthink and to just trust, and to find it within yourself to be okay of being vulnerable with this person. And I see a very positive outcome coming from it, whatever it may be, professional, romantic, otherwise. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Let's maybe get some advice, maybe in regards of like our actions. Yeah, so right here, when I see this card to me is very much the moon in the tarot. This idea of like, yeah, it's time to reveal yourself. It says the garden of the night, to reveal that hidden self, that side that you've been afraid to show this person for whatever it may be. Maybe things have happened in the past, or maybe things just maybe there were some misunderstandings, or maybe there was some judgment, or whatever it may have been, maybe some hurt egos or hurt feelings. But whatever it may have been, It's the time to reveal the self that what you've been keeping within yourself. And that's what you need to do, is to understand how you feel, what you're feeling. And I do believe in May you will eventually reunite with this person, but it's up to you how you're going to deal with it. And I do feel in May you're going to find some sort of peace and courage within yourself to handle this situation right. That will lead to a positive outcome, and to dance with joy. I think deep down, I think you know. Deep down, I think you know whatever this person. Okay, so this might be for the romantic people. You know, if this is someone who is someone you're romantically interested in or whatever, I think deep down a lot of you feel this person in many ways is someone who you do want to be with, you do like or love or whatever it may be. And, you know, the reasons for why maybe you kept them at arm's length are no longer valid. And, you know deep down now, like, this is who you want. And you just need to go and get it, because that dance with joy, I just see you know what you want, and you just got to go now. And, you know, in May, when you see this person, you just got to go and tell them how you feel and to not be afraid. All right, let's see if there's any messages from our divine masculine. Concentration. Okay. So, kind of going with the Queen of Swords, perhaps your concentration has been misguided. I don't know why that word came in. Or you've been focusing on maybe some of the wrong things. Kind of where I was going over initially about overthinking. That maybe for some of you, for my Scorpio, is like maybe you've been focusing on the wrong stuff. And I think in May you're going to come to realize that the things that you were putting the energy or the focus or the overthinking was a waste of time. And you're going to realize, oh, I don't know why I did that. Like, why did I even like waste a thought of even considering that when I should have known better? That's not my situation at all. And for like the work situations, I think it kind of goes the same way, that perhaps you were focused on the wrong things within your work and your career. And when you're going to come to that realization in May. And when you have this, and when you go into this conversation with this person in May, you're going to realize that you got to be you're going to find the courage to tell them, you know, because it's going to show, it might actually restore more faith, depending on what your individual situation is, where they're going to realize, oh, they've learned and they knew it. They've learned from their mistakes, or learned that they were perhaps focusing on the wrong things or doing this or doing that. You know, that took a lot of guts to say, all right, like it's restoring a little bit more faith in this person. So perhaps what you're afraid of is almost like this slander or like rejection. It's actually going to be quite the opposite. And to remember that and to keep that in mind. Let's check in with our divine feminine. In time. Yeah, so I think what I'm sensing is, and I think what maybe for some of you, this is general reading, but for some of you Scorpios, I think this had to happen. You know, I think, you know, whatever, I do feel like what this person, you may not be that, like, not that they're not, like, it wasn't like a complete cutoff, like it wasn't like a cold, like we're done or ghosting, but just more like you're not like talking. You're not like quite in like regular communication with this person, but it's not so, you're just not talking to this person. Not that you've cut each other off or it's toxic, it's just, you guys are just not talking. But within this time, you've been able to grow and make that this transformation. And I think in May, you're going to realize that everything was timed out the way it was supposed to, as hard as it may had been, but everything, divine timing is on your end in May. And you're going to realize in May that a lot of the things that may have seemed like, why did it happen this way? Why did it happen that way? And even not even just in this circumstance, but just in general, in May, I think in your work, in your family, in your friends, romantic relationships, everything, if there were any sort of like things going on, I think they're going to manifest in a certain way in May for you guys. And you're going to realize, oh, this is so much better, so much more than I thought it was, like so worth the wait. And to, you know, that it came now it's coming now than it did earlier because of divine timing. So I think a part of that is trusting in the divine timing and trusting that this separation was necessary in this particular situation that got brought up. Let's see if there's any other blockages, any other blind spots that maybe we're not thinking about. Self-master. Okay. And personal power. Okay, so I think for what I'm getting for you Scorpios is in May, you know, a lot of things that were holding you back and a lot of things that may even still be kind of challenged for you in May is your personal power and self-mastery. However, I do also feel that in May, you're gonna have breaking points in both of these, and your life and getting your life under control and your, you know, within that personal power. I think there's gonna be a lot of different realizations, and I think for a lot of stuff that's gonna happen for you Scorpio in May, you're gonna realize kind of like in that divine timing that things kind of panned out the way they were supposed to, and you're gonna make a lot of these realizations in May that there were blockages within your own personal power, or the way you felt like people had to look at you in a certain way or act a certain way or be a certain way or appear to be a certain way, and that ended up draining so much of your own energy. Now you realize, oh, that was such a waste of time. I'm just gonna do me and right by me. And part of that is your self-mastery, and I think that overall growing and transforming of yourself, if you haven't gone through it now, you will start to in May. Let's see if there's anything else for you guys. Oh. Flew right out. All right, burnout. Your hard work will see results, but your health needs to be maintained, so check in with a doctor, dentist, and health professional, and try to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So yeah, I think so for some of you Scorpios, yeah, I think there was probably a lot of this stuff probably did drain you, and a lot of unnecessary mental time, you know, and probably it caused a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. And and it was really burning you out emotionally. And I think in May, you're going to be much more mindful of how you let things affect yourself, and you're gonna prioritize your health and your needs and what is right by you, and not so much about the different things that surround you. And yeah, so kind of going with that personal power, I think for maybe a lot of you feel like your life has been a little bit chaotic, and I think with this personal power and this burnout card, you just feel like in regards of your health and your well-being and finances or jobs or whatever it may be, I think you're gonna, in May, I think for a lot of you, you're gonna find the resolutions to those problems, and really, essentially you're gonna get it all back together in more or less in a certain way. Like you're not like, it's not like a complete loss. Like you're going, like things will start getting put back together. But part of that is also, you still have to trust in the timing of everything. So you have to trust that everything's going to be okay and everything's going to resolve the way they are. And part of that is to not overthink. Let me see if there's anything else. I don't think so. Thank you guys so much. I really hope you enjoyed this reading and that you guys got something out of it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Make a comment below and let me know if this really resonated with you or any other video suggestions you would like to see. And I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.